Professor Yakubu said 93% of Nigerian space is covered by we have network. 93% was very clear. And the way the beavers is designed, you don't even need a network. We have what we call offline. It's like some POS points. You bring out your card, put your card, they put you your number, you put your even when there is no network there, as long as that account has been debited, you see debit alert, it will drop in the well. So that is how the beaver. So if you listen to what the Guinea is saying, any attempt not to have real-time electoral transmission is going to put us a nation in the dark, because if INEC in 2023, before they released 300 billion for Professor of Glitches, said, if you also listen to him when he went to Chartered House, said the game changer is the IRF and the beavers. It was very clear. Even some of the senators, okay, look, let's say a senator from Lagos that voted no to real-time electoral transmission. Is there no network in Lagos? These are a bunch of criminals that are ruling us. These are a bunch of people who don't want us to see reason to move forward, because they are benefiting from this old pattern. They are looking at how to loot us from this old pattern, how to make themselves relevant to Nigeria, even when they are not relevant. Now, why will a senator in Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo vote against real-time electoral transmission? Is there no way these are people, if you listen to Guinea, there's a place, there was a day he was on the screen, he said good night Nigeria. When you put the analysis where he said that good night Nigeria, because of these people that are at the end of our fair. So I strongly alarm myself with the Guinea that any attempt for us to go what we did to repeat what we did in 2023 is a disaster. And the president thinks he's going to favor him. He's not going to favor the president. If he thinks he's going to favor him, I pity him. I want to have a rethink. He's not going to favor him. Because he's going to see multiple results from some certain states. Then the court will now need to see that to determine which one is original. You're going to see multiple results from INEC. Because if you see what happened in Edo, we understand very clearly that INEC printed two serial numbers. You see how the case went in Edo case, then they get to Supreme Court. Where INEC we are now saying people should come and defend INEC CTC through satisfied true copy. The law is very clear on that. Once an INEC is like why I give you a certificate, you are not telling the why to come and testify when you see their stamp there. So that's what has happened. So for me, I wish the president well.
Okay, so one of the things for this particular electoral act, it looks like, or what Igin is saying about the electoral act, it looks like it's crying over spilt milk, because we know that this act has actually been passed. So this coming out to say all of this, I know Guinea has been talking about this even before the electoral act was passed. And then, of course, we had civil society organizations come out, and then we had protesters, but still nothing came out of it. But with all of this, the electoral act has been passed. Do you see anything actually coming out from all of these talks?
Nothing will ever come out. Something will come out if it does not favor Tinubu and his entourage. Because those people that are saying no now, there will be a time in our history they will say yes. People that are shouting we need a reform now. During Buhari time, they were shouting there was no need for reform. You know that law was passed during Buhari. Buhari refused to sign it. He was citing ECOWAS treaty or something. I forget what he said there. Those people then today that were with Buhari, that were telling Buhari not to sign it that time, they are the ones shouting now that the electoral must be signed, must be amended, must be act, repeal, because it's a law that has been passed before. So you're going to repeal it and react it again. So those people that are shouting now, we are those people that were there supporting Buhari not to sign it. So one of these days, the table will also turn against people that are there now. They will not be the one shouting. God save our life. We all be in this country there.
You know,
we will remind them.
Before we let this matter lie, The House of Representatives had once upon a time actually passed for real-time transmission, right, of results, but they backpedaled. What do you think might have happened? Why do you think there was a 360? And then there's a second part to that. Opposition lawmakers, at some point, they even gave a press conference immediately after this whole thing went down to say, no, we were in total contravention to this whole thing, but because they were in the opposition and they were the minority, their voices were not heard. If you could just quickly look at these two topics. Really.
If you look at the press conference from the opposition for House of Reps, who was heading it? I've forgotten his name now. Because that guy now have a voice to speak, because Wike's son is going to replace him. One of Wike's son is going to replace him, so he might not come back to that house. He's not looking for it to favor Nigeria. But before now, what were they saying? So if you look at House of Reps that passed it, Section 60, if you remember the Section 60 subsection 3 or thereabout. The House of Reps passed the resolution.
Subsection 3.
Yes. That there must be mandatory electoral transmission of results. But on the second thought, when they were now harmonizing, maybe they were getting a directive from the party, from their party. All of them vote against electoral transmission of results. They should please fact check me. All of them vote yes to non-real-time electoral transmission of results. That's APC, that House of Reps in that house. And what makes it so worrisome was we have 109 Senate. It's only 75 that show up. Out of that 75, 20 were in opposition, 55 was APC. So they have a quorum to say the high have it. So the other people that were not in that house, where were they? We are not meant to be in the house that day. Why were they absent? Because they also want to be among those who they were silent. So like, you can't interpret their actions. So these are the issues. Issue of people see politics as the way to lie. No, politics in a sense society is not to lie. It's to better the life of the common man on the street. But in Nigeria, the politics in Nigeria is you want to make yourself rich to oppress the people on the street. So that's my submission on that.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on to legal matters. The Federal High Court in Abuja, of course, has ordered the remand of former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, his wife, and of course his son. And this is pending the hearing of their bail applications. What do you make of this? We've seen the back and forth over this issue about Malami. You know, what would you say? Would you say many are the woes of Malami now in Nigeria?
Malami will be in detention until after 2023 election. For a reason that is
2027.
For a reason that is best known to this current administration. Malami was one of those people that was not advising Buhari properly. The electoral reform, Malami was one person that said Buhari not to sign it. Please say Malami. So, what was Malami worth before he became Attorney General of the Federation? If you see the kind of money they are calling that this guy Safon. So then again, we also ask, is Malami the only person on that bracket? Where is our former governor in Delta State for 1.3 trillion? He has the cap. What of Emmanuel Ludo, our former governor of Akwa Ibom? Because the governor has the cap, nobody said anything about it again. Don't forget that Chelle once told us, if you join our party, your sins are forgiven. So if Malami tomorrow switch back to APC and use part of that resources to campaign for them, who hear this matter again? So it's a game. They are playing this. It's a skit or it's a content. Nigeria have become a content creating ground. For the most worrisome part of this is our Lord Justice have allowed themselves to be used by this bunch of people who does not have what it takes to rule a nation. So Malami is a game they are playing with Malami, and Malami will also play the game with them. But that's why I'm praying Malami should not switch base. Once you switch base to APC, all this matter is gone.
Well, according to you, you're saying it takes two to tango. We'll keep our fingers crossed to see how that one pans out. But another person that has a case to answer is Mike Ozekome. So an FCT High Court in Abuja has granted him, talking about Barrister Ozekome and Pomfa Oseni, bail in the sum of 10 million naira each over an alleged London property fraud. I mean, what do you make of this, Frank? It is mind-boggling considering the status. I'm talking about the reputation of Mike Ozekome. But let me not put words in your mouth. What do you make of this whole drama?
Sadly, we are having a serious concern. For Michael Zakome, for me, it should have gone beyond all this issue of somebody coming to allege a forgery of a passport for a son who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, advocating for the liberation of the Nigerian people. I'm disappointed. I don't want to really comment on it because it's before our Lord justice. But however, if it's found wanting, it should go in for it. And that will be a very clear example for other Nigerian people. Now, you can't be preaching A and you are doing B. So that's what I've seen here. So what exactly we are telling us to believe that he was supporting the common man on the streets, including when he was kidnapped. He came out to defend the kidnappers. You remember that story? That they were hungry. That they were hungry, that's why they are kidnapping. If a man like that I've seen the reason for people who are hungry to be committing crime, does he now have the reason to also commit the same crime? So I leave it at that. Let our Lord Justice do their job. If it's one thing, he should be punished for this crime. Nobody's bigger than the law.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Frank. Of course, thank you for your extensive analysis on the issues.
Thank you. Do enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah. Okay, so we have been speaking with Frank Ayala, who is a banker and a public affairs analyst. But remember that the views of our analysts are solely their own and do not reflect that of VOP Media. Moving on, the African Democratic Congress's South-South Zone held its first regional leadership meeting in Benin City on Friday to discuss party matters and boost regional coordination. National leader John Odege Oyego addressed recent disturbances, urgent calm and security. Correspondent Rhoda Johnny reports.
The South-South Zone of the African Democratic Congress on Friday held its first regional meeting in Benin City, Edo State, to discuss issues affecting the party in the zone. The meeting took place at the residence of a national leader, John Odege Oyego, and attracted stakeholders from Rivers, Cross River, Bayelsa, Delta, and Akwa Ibom states, including Rotimi, Amechi, and Pat Otomi. At the meeting, Odege Oyeko said governors in the southern states have no right to determine how citizens should vote, stressing that electoral choices belong to the people and not political leaders.
The principal one being that the people, most of you elected as their governors, are telling the world that they have put you in their pockets and move to wherever they want to move to. Which means that the day you made them your leaders, the day you hired them, because that's really the reality of the situation, they are now telling the world that they own you and can make decisions for you as to your political association, as to who you vote for. So we in the South have the sacred duty to prove to the Nigerian public that our governors don't own us.
He also addressed the recent disturbance at the party's secretariat and an attack on its residence during a visit by the party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi, where suspected thugs reportedly disrupted activities and called on security agencies to investigate the incident.
Well, I'm not sure we're aware of any arrest here. Absolutely none. I am not convinced there will be an arrest, because the nature of the event, and there are security people around, and nobody is arrested. What?
Rhoda Johnny, VOP TV News.
Rhoda, thank you. Now, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos has officially unveiled Invest Lagos 3.0, the state's flagship investment summit set for June 2026. This year, Lagos is going global. partnering with the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council to position the city as Africa's top destination for transformative investment. Our correspondent reports from Lagos House, Marina.
It's been described as more than just a meeting. Invest Lagos 3.0, scheduled for June 9th and 10th, 2026, is designed to be a transaction-focused engine. Addressing the media at Lagos House Marina, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu made it clear the goal is to move beyond talk and into deployable pipelines of capital infrastructure, digital growth, and renewable energy.
I want to therefore invite investors, financial institutions, development partners, both local and international, strategic collaborations to engage fully to seize the opportunity that Invest Lagos 3.0 will present.
The state is scaling up its reach by partnering with the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, a body that connects governments and private sector leaders across 56 Commonwealth nations. Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council CEO Samantha Cohen, speaking alongside the governor, emphasized that Lagos remains the most critical business hub in Africa.
We are proud to partner with the government to deliver the Lagos Trade Investment Summit this June, convening more than 300 Commonwealth and Nigerian business leaders for dialogue and investment opportunities.
The Commissioner for Commerce, Folashade Baba Ambrose, noted that in a world where subnational governments now compete directly with global funds, Lagos is positioning itself through governance, quality, and policy coherence.
Investment must convert into enterprise growth, value chain expansion, job creation, and enhanced revenue performance. This is the economic discipline guiding Invest Lagos 3.0.
The summit expects to host up to 600 high-level delegates, including sovereign wealth funds and the multinational corporations. The ultimate aim to boost the state's internal generated revenue through real measurable enterprise growth. With signed MOUs and defined capital deployment, timeless as expected outcomes, the state government is betting that the summit will do more than just put Lagos on the map. It will fuel the state's development plan all the way to 2052. From the State House Marina, I am Onyeka Ogolo reporting for VOP TV.
Thank you very much, Maureen. As part of the 2026 Boy Child Initiative, 500 Lagos students toured military installations and inspired discipline and career ambition. The program seeks to replace negative stereotypes with positive role models. Correspondent Onyeka Ogolo reports.
Week of transformation for over 500 boys drawn for public and private schools and even correctional facilities across Lagos. Gathered at the St. Gregory College Obalende, the boys participated in a residential workshop designed to steer them away from the streets and towards a purposeful future. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, visiting the workshop on its third day, issued a stern warning but a fatherly challenge, noting that the current one-day governor and her cabinet are all girls.
The opportunity that this is giving to you is for you to become a better citizen tomorrow, to become a better grown adult, an adult that your parents will be proud of, your school will be proud of, your community will be proud of, your siblings will be proud of.
He urged the boys to spend less time on social media and more time on their books. The initiative, a pet project of the First Lady, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, aims to change the narrative for young men often stereotyped as Yahoo boys or wayward youths.
I encourage you to remain focused, disciplined, and open-minded. The knowledge, values, and experience you are gaining here are powerful tools that will guide you throughout your lives.
Beyond the classroom, the boys embarked on an exposition tour to the Command Secondary School in Ikeja and the Nigerian Navy ship Beecroft in Apapa. At the 9th Brigade, the commander, Brigadier General Ayokunle Wuholabi, reminded them that the military is forged for national leaders.
History has shown that discipline and leadership training acquired in the Nigerian Army prepared individuals for the highest levels of national responsibility.
To balance this rigor of discipline, the participants also engaged in football matches and breaking the traditional gender roles of a cooking competition. From the barracks to the kitchen, the message of the 2026 Lagos Boy Child Initiative is clear. With discipline and focus, the Lagos Boy Child can lead in any field he chooses. I am Monica Ogola, reporting for VOP TV.
Onyeka, thank you. On the foreign scene now, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has vowed to fight political extremes on both the right and left after Labour suffered a humiliating defeat to the Green Party in a seat it had held for nearly a century. The loss in Greater Manchester's Garden and Denton highlights the breakdown of Britain's two-party system. Green Party's Anna Spencer won, Reform UK came second, and Labour fell to third. Starmer called the result very disappointing, but said he understands voter anger and remains committed to delivering the change promised in his 2024 landslide victory.
In another development, Afghanistan's Taliban rulers say they are willing to negotiate after Pakistan bombed Taliban positions in major cities, killing dozens of troops in the deadliest clashes yet between the former allies. Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Muttaqi told Qatar's Mohammed Al-Khalifi that Afghanistan has always preferred resolving issues peacefully, but dialogue requires a sincere willingness from both sides.
Well, in business news, the National Bureau of Statistics says Nigeria's economy grew by 4.07% in real terms in the fourth quarter of 2025, up from 3.76% in the fourth quarter of 2024. Gross domestic product was valued at 122.81 trillion naira nominally, with real GDP at 63.97 trillion naira. All three major sectors recorded growth. Agriculture rose 4%, up from 2.54% last year. Industry expanded, by 3.88% compared to 2.49% previously. Services, the largest contributor at 55.92% of GDP, grew 4.15%. The non-oil sector drove performance, contributing 97.13% of GDP, while oil accounted for 2.87%.
Still talking business, Nigerian Exchange Group PLC has reported a profit before tax of 15.6 billion naira for the year ended December 31, 2025, up from 13.6 billion naira in 2024. In its audited results released in Lagos, the group said the performance reflects strong earnings resilience despite the challenging macroeconomic environment. Operating profit rose by 44% to 11.8 billion naira, while revenue increased by 36% to 22.9 billion naira, driven by growth across core business segments and increased investor participation. Finance costs declined by 67% due to balance sheet deleveraging, while total assets rose to 71 billion naira and shareholders' equity grew to 55.2 billion naira. Chairman Omaro Kwiranga attributed the result to disciplined strategy, while Group CEO Temi Kpokwola said the company achieved strong growth despite economic headwinds.
Well, in sports news, Super Eagles stars have learned their opponents in the UEFA Champions League and Europa League knockout stages. The Champions League, Victor Osimhen will lead Galatasaray against Liverpool. Osimhen scored the only goal in their 1-0 win over Liverpool in the group stage. The round of 16 ties are set for March 2026. Ademola Lookman will continue with Atletico Madrid facing Tottenham Hotspur after an impressive winter transfer. In the Europa League, Ola Aina will feature for Nottingham Forest against FC Midtjylland.
Still in sports, Tanzanian Premier League club Singida Black Stars SC has suspended Super Eagles goalkeeper Amos Obasoge for 3 months over alleged match fixing. The club said the suspension will last pending the outcome of an investigation and reminded players and staff to uphold discipline and accountability. He joined Singida Black Stars in 2025 after leaving Ethiopian side Fasil Kenima. The 36-year-old was part of Nigeria's squad for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco and has made 1 appearance for the Super Eagles, 3-time African champions.
In the world of entertainment news, controversial Nigerian comedian Chelle has issued a public apology following backlash over remarks made during an appearance on The Honest Bunch. During the podcast, Chelle said Nigeria is safer now than it was a decade ago, praising the administration of Bola Tinubu. He claimed there have been fewer bomb attacks and more bandits killed compared to the tenures of former presidents Goodluck Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari. The comment sparked criticism from many Nigerians who accused him of downplaying the country's security challenges. In response, the comedian posted a video on Instagram admitting his words were hurtful and apologizing for any distress caused, while maintaining that he did not intend to dismiss the suffering of citizens. And it's a wrap on News Hour. Thank you so much for watching. I am Vivian Uguche.
And I am Nenna Ndumdioto. Bye for now.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television. We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is African News, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Behind every broken debt lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.